quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even be that, I don't want none of it. It's bad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Y'all is a lazy, my posse deep and I raiding. We act a fool for the paper, had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over baby. Put the bread on me, bet on my bacon. Big it flat in the bacon, I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Cop a roof for all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all in nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can, yeah. Super fly for the Dumbos, plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, about the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'm a stab, no. Jackie Chan, no trap. Be the one you wanna stuff for. Money, that machine. The Ferragamo store. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. After life in 9/11, folks. Matte black, looking clean. Dead president and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Pictures thinner than a penny hoe.
Don't get empty your pockets. I don't do that. In my prison, you do what I tell you. Get over it. Who's gonna get this?
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling.
Standing, look in the mirror, how could you face that? Mask on, don't even know where my face at. Plenty don't even know where waste at. All these in the room, how could you waste that? Huh? Why would you chase that? It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. No matter what, I'ma stay black. It's a never-ending run on this racetrack.
Okay, Coach, football, of course, back in L.A. and back at StubHub Center in Carson, California. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Houston Texans and the Los Angeles Chargers. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. First down, it's Watson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. From the 21, it's second and 10. On second and 10, Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Watson on first down. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way inside the opening drive, they know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
From the red zone now, Watson underneath for Miller. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Blazing start to the game for him. 4 plays, 4 passes, and look at him now, first and goal.
Yeah,
pretty good start.
Already down there. Now they just don't want to settle for 3. See if they can put the final words in this script and knock it in the end zone.
I just wonder what he's feeling out there right now because he looks so locked in throwing the ball. I don't know if he's thinking it's like 7-on-7 in practice or even some regressions and there's no defense out there. That's the way he's cutting through them right now.
From back at the 4, here's second and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Now Watson on third and goal. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Hurry up!
Now a first carry from Melvin Gordon. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
12.
Rivers now on 2nd down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond as you just noted.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Set, 380.
He's going to get it running right. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they're back at the 7 now for 3rd and goal.
Ready, 380. Hey, go orange. Orange.
From the gun, Rivers. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the year.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight first down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hole, but they're being created by an offensive line that has the leverage game going for them right now. Lower than the defensive front, creating space, and he's finding it in a big...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Following the interception here, Rivers. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Over the middle, complete. That's Bird. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. They give him a gain of 38. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know they're going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got to assign.
Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. He's going to air one out. And got his man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Hey, Delta!
1st down, Rivers. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Williams. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Now Rivers going to give to Gordon on the draw. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the 1st down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers, and on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Throwing, Rivers. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Now Gordon on 1st down. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
12. 12. Let's go.
On 3rd down, Rivers. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out that just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that part. I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. It's complete to Fuller. 23 yards on the play.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
On 1st down, Watson dumps it complete to Miller. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. 23 yards on the play.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Off the play fake here, Rivers. He's got Allen. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This from 54 yards away. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that'll bring him back within 4. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. On 1st and 10, Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Now Rivers going to give it off with a 3rd and 2. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now they'll pitch it out. This is Gordon. There goes Melvin Gordon. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to strike for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Come back!
A shotgun snap for Watson. Dancing to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. A second down throw for Rivers. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. The Chargers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
12. Set. Read 80. White. Yeah, Rocket.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down.
17, guys. Check the gun.
Final play of the half, Rivers. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half.
It's caught inside the 25. It's a big one there for the Chargers, 58 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
One now a little bit. Hey, Rocket.
Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Second down, Rivers. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to lead to a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's first and goal. Three red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on second and goal here. First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of that?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just
Swanson. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Richmond.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And it's fielded at the 34. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. They give him a gain of 38.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Credit the tackle to Peter Kalambai.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, Rivers going underneath for Gordon. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So make him 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives have bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
And here comes the Texans now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs.
And the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this is recovered by the Chargers.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. They'll step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves him in pretty good shape. Now a 20th carry, number 20 here for Melvin Gordon. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Melvin Gordon with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Chargers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
Ready.
Operating from the gun, Rivers. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. From the 50, it's Watson. He sets to fire deep. Hopkins, and this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2. Out of the gun, Watson. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30, right about the 29. The Chargers getting set to go. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
Allen has it, left side. Fighting through it, he's got space. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. A give to the brother of J.J. This is Derek Watt. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man. You can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, Rocket! 0. Done!
Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. He's going to float this over the middle deep. This is caught inside the 15. Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the 4th quarter. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. Fighting through, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. DJ Reader with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. The Chargers will bring out the field goal unit now. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 30, 10, 5, touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT with a return of 102 yards. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. And that big 4th quarter return, Charles, makes this a 1-score game.
And now it all comes down to philosophy. All right, they just had a big return for a touchdown, so the momentum is high. Do you want to ride that and go for 2? Or do you just go ahead and kick the extra point and come back and rely on your defense?
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. Over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Chargers. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bernardrick McKinney coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
0. Hey. White.
Rivers now on second down. Going up top. He's got a man complete. The 20, 10. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit, being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice spin into some open field. He's at the 40, 20, 10. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT with a return of 102 yards. And the Texans draw a bit closer.
I can't help it, partner. I get fired up. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the same game. This is fun to watch.
Yeah, we call a lot of games in a lot of different places. Sometimes it seems like we do it simultaneously, but we rarely get to see this. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger offense making their way back out there. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for L.A. 52 yards. Well, I'm sure he likes this performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the fourth quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week. But maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see. And other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
380. Hey.
Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
A toss play, Gordon, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there at 22. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Watson on 1st down. Caught here by Griffin. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. He's going to let it fly. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
That one goes for 24 yards. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis.
Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Chargers coming out on the field now. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Throwing, Rivers. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty is a result of that hit there.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Running left, it's Gordon on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. As they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Rivers. And that's off the mark, incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
And that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Rivers. Allen's got it complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. And now the Texans want to call another timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Here's Rivers. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. This is caught inside the 15. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to almost certainly win the football game. And his kick here is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid